Lambeau Field for Monday Night Football action between the Packers and the Detroit Lions. The final score from Lambeau, 35-17, going in Green Bay's favor. Dannie Rogers alongside Lomas Brown here for the Lions postgame show. Lomas, before we get into head coach Dan Campbell's presser, what's your biggest concern after the loss the Lions just experienced?
Again, Dannie, now it's the turnovers. The turnovers and the penalties that kind of really put us behind the chain. I thought that was very big, especially in the second half of the game. I really thought the team played well in the first half, both sides of the ball. But again, when you put yourself behind the chains, when you have untimely penalties like we have, and then you have the turnovers, it could really, really hurt drives. And I think that kind of helped Green Bay in the second half. And oh man, when you're playing against a guy like Aaron Rodgers, you can't give him any advantage.
The Aaron Rodgers and the Aaron Jones connection was very real today, and we're going to hear more about it coming up later. But let's go into head coach Dan Campbell's presser now to get his thoughts on post-game.
You do wet ball drill, all those things. I don't think we thought it was going to get very bad. It really didn't either. I mean, I understand that we the first one he fumbled, he just pulled out quickly from under center, and then the one, it went out of his hand. But I mean, that's what you got towels for and everything else. I mean, otherwise you don't wear towels. So, crap happened, and it's on us. And they didn't have those errors. They didn't have the fumbles. We did, and that's on us.
Coach, the second week in a row, your team just struggled against the run. It's like, what has been your message to them?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's for me. There's little things that we got to clean up, but there's also things that I'm encouraged by. There's some players that I'm encouraged by. Bobby Price encouraged me. Germ encouraged me. The offensive line encouraged me. Swifty encouraged me. There's a number of guys, and so I see improvement in areas, but certainly not enough. I mean, when you play a team like this, you can't have the mistakes that we had. So, yeah, we got to clean some of this stuff up. They got us a little bit. However, they didn't rush for over 100 yards. So, I wouldn't say that the run crushed us. Do we want to be better? Yeah, we do. Because ultimately we need to be able to get teams in third and medium or long, because look, most teams you're playing your odds. Your odds are much better of getting off the field, but I do feel like we can maximize our packages, and we have some mismatch there on third down, but we can't even get to that. But go ahead.
You explained last week why you went fourth down. I imagine it's the same reason. Here's what the play called. Your offensive line's been playing really well. Why go to a shotgun there and maybe not a run play?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was, we were hoping we were going to be able to get a single with TJ, and if not, it's really Q's got to win or TJ, and you're hoping it's TJ. Well, it didn't, and you're going out to your X, and it didn't work, and there's an argument for that, but hey, I didn't. Ultimately, you're one more time you're playing your odds that you're hoping you're going to get that to TJ, and it didn't work out. Well, you still got a one-on-one, and now you guys got to win, and it didn't work out. So, it's easy to second guess it, certainly, but it didn't work out.
You ran ball pretty well in the first half, scored 17 points, weren't able to get anything in the second half. What was the biggest difference in your mind in the second half offensively?
The turnovers, that was ultimate. That was the big thing. It wasn't like we couldn't run it. It was, every time offensively we struggled is because we shot ourselves in the foot. Even the one possession we didn't score in the first half was by our own doing. We had a holding call, we had a false start, we had an intentional grounding, and then you go to the second half and, we had the fumbled snap, so that's a wasted snap. They fall on it. We have the interception trying to make a play, which I understand why he's trying to make a play. You're down that much. But it's self-inflicted wounds. And then you reach a certain point where you're trying to continue to run your offense and be able to run it a little bit, run the ball, but yet you're also pressed. You're pressed for time. We only have 2 timeouts. You're down 3 scores. And you kind of get put in a bind. That's not the world we want to live in.
You mentioned the third downs. Did have a couple of third and longs early in that second half. Was that just Rodgers being great, converting some of those sort of
Yeah, he did. I mean, he made some plays. He's going to make some plays, you know. And for me, I put this there again. I mean, defensively, we're going to improve, and we did improve in small areas. But I put this on our offense. Offensively, we have to be able to outscore a team like this. That's just how I see it. Because why? Because it turned in that type of game again. That's why. And so, to me, the onus is on your offense. There's going to have games where, as we continue to improve, where the defense is going to have to step up and win a game for us. But I just feel like it was the flow of where the game goes. And today it was another one of those games. And we are not allowed to make mistakes or have turnovers because we can't rebound from those.
How do you pick guys up and make sure it's not the same thought process where guys say, hey, same old line, we down 0-2?
Yeah, I just told them I don't want to see that shit. So they come in. I'm not that type of person. I'm not a negative person. I'm all about going to work. I want guys that are resilient, that are willing to go back to work. They love ball. They're going to clean up their mistakes. And those are the guys I'm looking for, man. I'm not a sulker. I'm not a guy who, like, you're not going to get me down. And those are the type of people I want around me. I want guys that are looking for solutions. We're going to fix our mess because we put ourselves in this mess. So that's what I'm looking for. So I think we're going to be just fine. We'll be upbeat. And you know what? It should sting. I hope it does sting. It stings me. And that's okay. But that doesn't mean that you got to be negative or kick the dirt and everything else. And I don't want those guys around here.
You have two veteran linebackers, Alex and Dannie, you had a lot of faith in. Maybe the film will show something different on second viewing, but it seemed like those two guys struggled today. So I'm curious, at what point do you maybe want to get just a look at Derek Brown and see what he could do in those spots?
Yeah, look, let me watch the tape. Certainly, there's some plays in there where we want those guys to come downhill. We need to see them come downhill and instead of playing laterally, play more downhill than laterally. So I want to watch the tape. And certainly, look, Barnes has been on our mind, because he showed in preseason that he will run and hit. So, yeah, we're going to be looking at everything. I mean, we're going to be looking at receivers. We're going to be looking at our backers. We're going to be looking at everybody. Anybody we think can help us and that needs to get a look at, we're going to get a look at.
Talked last week about how small the margin for error is for this team, and you said you needed to probably outscore them tonight. Just how hard is it, I guess, to live in that world where you have to be kind of perfect on offense in a game?
Well, I mean, yeah, it makes it a little more difficult. It does. However, if you can just stay in the flow of what you do, and there again, it's the multiple penalties. It's certainly the turnover. That just flips the tide for you. It does make it more difficult, but it's very possible. It's very possible. You just don't want to get in a world where once again we had to throw it 40 times. I just don't see us. That's not who we are. That's not who we are. It's not. We don't function best that way. So we got to stay ahead of it, and we're not allowed to make those mistakes. And so we just got to continue to hone in on it. And look, Jared will be the first one to tell you he's got to take care of the ball better.
Just to build off last one, guys, you have enough offensively to be that team that can outscore them. Because some of these, it's part of what happened with Jared. Like turnovers were an issue for him last season. We all know the receiver, some of the shortcomings that you have at that position. So do you have enough?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to think so because here's what we've got. I do like our tight ends. We got a couple of backs. And we just got a guy who came in from Denver that we traded for, and we're still getting him up to speed. And let's see where he's at next week. Q made some plays early. He didn't make plays late. So we're just going to keep working, man. If we got to move somebody over to X and then move him to Z or bump somebody else, we got to move Kennedy to Z. We're going to figure it out, And yeah, it's hard for me to say that. To answer in that way where, no, we don't have, I just don't, it's hard for me to think that way. I believe we've got what we need here. We just got to hone in on, maybe we got to find more plays for Swifty. We got to find more plays for Hawk. And we just, you live a lot more in that world. But I'm not giving up on our receivers either. We'll just keep working and find out what they really, really do best that we can showcase, or maybe even position-wise. Exactly where they need to be. Are they better in the slot? Are they better at the Z? Better at the X? And the lights come on, you figure out a lot. That's 2 games down. We got to clean it up. Yeah, it's a bad one. Yeah, it looks like he'll be out for a little bit. Yep. Okay.
We will build a winning and inspired culture to serve the best football product to this great city of Detroit so we can compete for championships on a consistent basis.
That's why I'm here. I wanted this job bad because I felt like I knew this community. I played here. I know that Detroit's made up of great people, some really good people. This community is strong. I think this is special because I know this, when we bring a winner to this city, it's going to be something we can all be proud of.
You just heard from head coach Dan Campbell, who says this team is not going to sulk. He does not want to say
Right.
that he doesn't have the pieces on this team to get the job done. However, they're going to keep building this team, is exactly what that sounds like. So he talked about tempo, penalties, not being able to stay in the rhythm. That first half, though, how much did they show that this could be the future of what this Lions team is
They
working for?
did, Danny. They really did. I mean, I thought Jared was so good in that first half. He didn't seem like he was pressured. He was making the throws he had to make. Offensive line giving them great protection. They were running the ball. I mean, they were in rhythm. They seemed like they were getting the plays in enough time. So if Jared had to go to the line and make any type of adjustments, he had time to do that. So it was just so encouraging in the first half. It's just, again, we didn't come out with the same intensity, come out with the same kind of focus that we needed to in the second half, and it really told.
Jared Goff completing over 80% of his passes there in the first half. Lions take a
Yes.
lead going into the second half. I mean, that third quarter, though, how much did that just offset almost everything they did in that first half?
Oh my God! You kind of knew Aaron was going to come out. You kind of knew they were going to go in and make some adjustments. I'm talking about Green Bay, and they did. And I think what hurt us was when they just marched down the field. He put it in the end zone. That's when you need the offense, and I think that's what Coach is talking about. Why he put it on the offense, because our offense needed to respond to Aaron Rodgers' touchdown. When we didn't do that, then you gave Aaron Rodgers another opportunity to go down and put up some more points. Then you're just playing from behind. So I could really see what Coach Campbell was talking about when he said this one he'll put on the offense, because they needed to keep the scoring going and keep up with the Green Bay Packers.
Coming into this one, head coach said that the biggest strengths this week were the offensive line, the run
Yes.
game, and TJ Hawkinson. So for him to say it's the offense that didn't outscore this
Yes.
this Green Bay team is really what was at fault when it comes down to it. But let's take a look at the game full stats here. Stat-wise, Lomas, what stuck out to you that kind of made the difference for the Lions and didn't get the job done?
Yeah, I mean, again, I thought we were balanced with the run game. I thought they did a great job. You look at, again, from the receiving core, just being able to push the ball downfield, which I thought Jared did. He took shots when he had shots downfield. I just think the thing about it was, if I look at the stats, Danny, I'm just looking at penalties and I'm looking at the turnovers. I think those were the things that held us back because, again, it put us behind the sticks. It takes you out of your offense. You have to do things that you can't do. In the first half, we were comfortable, 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s, and we were able to convert those. And I just thought in the second half, we were just in 3rd and longs, and it just really makes it very hard for our offense to just keep the momentum going and maintain drives.
Yeah, Goff, this offense, turnover on downs, and then
Yes.
you go into a situation where Jared Goff, quarterback, fumbles the ball, and Green Bay is able to
Yes.
march down again and score that touchdown. But let's take a look at Goff's final stats. Like we said, that 80% completion in the first half, really, really great. Really could have set the tone for the rest of this game. He ends up going 26 of 36 with 246 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. We just heard Coach Campbell say that interception, he was trying to make a play.
Yes.
He gets it. But what could this team have done to not put their backs against the wall like that?
Well, again, they probably needed to come out. And even when you get behind in the second half the way we did, you have to keep it mixed up. So, I mean, and you just can't go back and start throwing the ball. You have to maintain your run in there. I thought Green Bay started getting more pressure on Jarrett. Jarrett started feeling the pressure a little bit more, having to move around. He didn't seem as comfortable as he was in the first half, and that's a credit to Green Bay because, again, you knew they were going to come in and make some adjustments. I thought we kind of had to go away from the running game, which, we had to do that in the second half because we fell behind against San Francisco. So, again, if we could stay the course, if you could just kind of keep it close, then it just keeps the playbook so wide open for you. But when you get behind and you start doing things that you're not accustomed to doing, and we heard Coach say he doesn't like them just dropping back and having to throw the ball as much as they have to.
Right, yeah. Lions threw the ball 57 times in week 1, 36 times here in week 2. Still not good enough for the head coach.
Yes.
Let's hear from the quarterback, Jared Goff, about what his post-game thoughts are.
We just kind of kept shooting ourselves in the foot there. We had a good thing going in the first half, and it was looking how we expected it to look, really. And just kept shooting ourselves in the foot in the second half.
When the rain is coming down like that, how difficult is it to, handle the ball?
Shouldn't be. Yeah, it gave us issues, gave me issues specifically, but it shouldn't be. We had the one snap, and then the ball slipped out of my hand there at the end, but it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, I thought I had a good matchup with Q. Just didn't hit it.
Did you guys you had a delay game, or almost a delay game on that possession? Took a timeout, I think, a couple plays earlier than that. Kind of up against the play clock on the 4th and 1. Were there any? You rushed at all? Were there any communication issues or anything?
No. There was some weird play clock stuff, but that was about it.
Dan challenged you guys offensively. You said he put this one on offense. When your coach challenged you like that, what do you take from that?
Sure, he's right. I mean, again, we had doing everything we wanted to in the first half. I think we scored on every drive besides the one where we had the penalties, and kind of what we expected to do. Run the ball well, be able to move the ball down the field, throw it on them, and then in the second half just kept stalling ourselves out. I think so. I'm sorry? Nothing that would have changed the game. A play or two where I thought the play clock started a little early, but nothing that would have affected the outcome.
First half, you had a lot of times to run the ball pretty well. Just what you thought of the way you guys played up front, especially in the first half.
I thought they played really well. Yeah, no, I was sitting back there with a lot of time, able to make some plays. And again, I'm sure they made some adjustments in the second half, and we just have to be better.
Beyond the offensive line, it was probably the best we've seen you in the practice field in the preseason. You were on target, 12 of 14 or something like that in the first half. Is that a sign of I guess, the comfort level you're starting to feel in this offense and with the receivers?
Yeah, I think, kind of mentioned it last week, but we're getting better. And I think it's showing up in practice and today in the game in that first half. We are getting better. We are getting more and more on the same page as time goes on. And Dan says it all the time. It's a race to improve. How fast can we get to where we need to be? Because we're clearly not there yet.
You go down 0-2. How do you, as a leader of the team, stop everybody else, your teammates, from going into that mindset of, hey, it's the same old Lions. Guys are used to seeing winners. So how do you keep the guys upbeat?
Yeah, it's a new crew now. I think obviously there has been history of that, but I believe in the guys we have here. I believe in Dan. I believe in our staff, and I believe in everyone that we do believe that this is a new regime and a new energy in the building. So, it's still early. Obviously, 0-2 is not where we want to be, but a lot of room to improve and a lot of wins to be had down the line.
Pretty much every time you've been on the field for this team, Quintez has made plays. He had a couple big ones tonight. Can you just take us through the deep ball to him in the first half, and then just what you've seen?
Yeah, just scrambled out there a little bit. He was able to turn up field and make a good catch on the field. I thought it was great, and he almost pulled down that one at the end of the half there. I think he's done a great job. He's continuing to improve. A guy that we're starting to trust more and more, and hopefully can continue to build that rapport with him.
Eric asked you about Dan challenge, right? So San Francisco, great offense. Green Bay, great opportunity. Another one coming to down in Baltimore this week. I know you're probably not there yet, but how daunting is the task to feel like you kind of maybe got to get in these track meets to win these games?
I'm not playing their offense. We'll be playing their defense, and we got to be better against each defense we play. our defense will handle them on their offense, but we got to focus on what we can do better, and there's a handful of things we can do.
You had an offense a couple years ago that really couldn't score with anyone, and I think a lot of people sort of look at this offense now and maybe don't see the same parts that you can't score with anyone. Why do you think this offense can, bleed shootouts like so you have these players?
Yeah, I think we got guys with ability on the outside, and we pass block and we run block with anybody in the league. And I like to think I can make throws with anybody in the league. So it's all there for us. And we've shown flashes of it, like I said last week. And it just needs to happen more often. And that's with everybody, myself included. We're there. We have the players. We have the plays. We just need to be on the same page a little bit more and just continue to get better and continue to stay consistent, I think, is the main thing.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Hey guys, we're gonna have breakouts with the other three. So
Jared Goff saying this team is getting better every single day. And I spoke with tight end TJ Hawkinson this past week before game day. He said his big goal is to get 1% better every day. Midway through the second quarter, Goff finds one of his favorite targets, Hawkinson, for an 8-yard touchdown pass to put the Lions up 14-7. How is that connection growing between TJ Hawkinson and Jared Goff, who are spending their first year together here in Detroit?
You could see it. You could see it each and every game. You could probably see each and every practice that those guys get together. And you're right, they have a natural connection that's going. I mean, Jared looks for him, and TJ seems to be where he needs to be at. He's running the right routes, and that's such a security blanket or such a comfort for the quarterback when he knows if he throws the ball, his receiver or his tight end is going to be where they need to be at to make that reception. He does a great job after he catching the ball. He's a tough guy, a big target for Jared Goff too. So it's just a lot of things that TJ brings to the table that I think is helping Jared Goff feel more and more comfortable in this offense.
Hawkinson targeted double-digit times in week 1, targeted 9 times today, 8 receptions, over 60 yards, and a touchdown. Where can TJ continue to help this offense?
So again, he's blocking well too, Danny. I didn't bring that up. Besides him catching the passes, he's doing a great job of blocking. And I like what offensive coordinator Anthony Lynn is doing with him. You don't know where TJ is going to be at. I mean, he lines him up at the slot position. He sends him out wide. I mean, he's on the move and motion all the time, doing jet motions. So those are good things that put him in the position that he needs to be in, and they're going to have to continue to do that because the more he gets targeted by Jared, the more these defenses are going to start paying attention to him and trying to shut him down. So I think it's been a great job these first 2 games of them moving him around and putting him in different positions to have success.
You talked about Anthony Lynn's play calling. I saw a lot of tweets, at least about it, praising him.
Yes.
What did you see from Lynn's play call?
I think he's so underrated with the play call. And I've loved what I've seen out of him these first 2 games. You don't see too many of the same plays. You see them get to certain plays by putting people in different position, and not just TJ. You see Jason Kabenda. They'll have him in the backfield. They'll line him up wide. They'll line him up in the slot position. You just see a lot of movement, and what that does is that helps them out because it causes a little confusion, or at least makes the defense think twice about what's coming at them. So I think Coach Anthony Lynn has been doing a great job of putting these guys and putting that offense in position to have success.
That second quarter touchdown to TJ Hawkinson, play of the game worthy?
I think so. I mean, yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it. I mean, yeah, I think DeAndre Swift getting in late, doing some nice things out there. But yeah, I can handle TJ being the play.
Okay, let's take a look at it again. It was a play that resembled something that we had seen in training camp. Beautiful pass to the corner of the back of the end zone. TJ Hawkinson, beautiful catch.
Yes.
Jared Goff, beautiful throw.
Man.
What did you see set up on that play?
At first, when I seen it, I'm like, oh no, please don't throw it that way, because he was double covered. Yep. But man, I'm telling you, like you say, man, the throw, I think more so than the catch, I love the throw because he put it right where, dropped the dime in there. And it was either TJ was going to catch it or nobody was going to catch that pass. And it was just a great, great job of those two hooking up. And like I say, I was like, oh no, oh yes. So it worked out very well. So yes, that can be our play.
How much did Jared Goff look like in his element when you see him make those kind of throws?
I mean, he did. Like I say, he started the game off fantastic, had a great first half. Everything he was throwing, he was putting it right where it needed to be at. And, you know, I just look at the difference between him this week in the first half compared to last week in the first half. He just seemed a little rushed, a little unsure, but he seemed sure of himself. He seemed confident, like he was sticking his chest out a little bit, and that's good. You want to be that way as a ball player, knowing that wherever you put the ball at, it's going to be where it needs to be at, and the guys are going to be there to catch the ball.
All right, let's take a look at this defensive side of the ball, one that needed improvement. Aaron Glenn said their philosophy is setting the edge and physicality. Huge ones. And also, building the wall. How did they do that today?
So, again, that's where I think they just have to keep improving that, because you're right, Danny. I think setting the edge is one of the most important things, because as you can see, Aaron Jones, he just kept exploiting us to the outside. And sometimes, I think later on in the game, he started bringing pressure. I'm talking about Aaron Glenn started bringing pressure, and they started trying to set the edge that way. But it has to happen with your interior guys. You don't want to have to bring safeties or bring cornerbacks up to set the edge. You would like for your defensive ends to be able to do that. And like I say, film circulates. So I'm quite sure Green Bay looked at what happened last week against San Francisco, and they implemented that into their game plan going into this. And hey, you can expect Baltimore to do the same thing. They're going to, especially with Lamar Jackson, they're going to try to threaten the edges of our defense. So it's important for these guys to continue to try to set the edge and also tackle. The missed tackles is something that you can't have.
One veteran that we talked about this week, shaking off the rust, was defensive lineman Michael Brockers. He comes up with a big sack tonight. What was a bright spot you saw from his game?
Yes, he was. I mean, he was putting constant pressure on the offensive line for the Green Bay Packers. I thought his surge was great. I mean, I think he was surging. He was driving those interior linemen back. And what happens then, it makes it hard for them to pull, or it makes it hard for these guys or the running backs to try to find their holes. I thought he did a great job. And I also thought the interior defensive line, I thought they did a great job for the most part of the game. You know, again, Aaron Jones, you look at a guy like that, he just had a phenomenal game, a guy that they didn't use a lot in the week one versus New Orleans. They really made an effort towards getting him involved in the game plan, and you can see it pay off for him.
Sure thing. All right, let's take a look at the around the league scores. I mean, I know the team that we're looking towards is Baltimore, and what they were able to do against Kansas City. You get a chance to watch that?
Oh, I did, and I heard Lamar Jackson say after the game that he's looking forward to the Detroit Lions next. So that was a great game, and man, they want to be physical. They have a physical team. They want to run the ball. That's how their offense seems the goal is through the run. And when you have a quarterback as dynamic as Lamar Jackson and some of the other weapons that he has on there, it's going to be a tall task for this defense coming up. But again, just fundamental things that they need to just keep working on and keep trying to improve on.
All right, your final takeaways. We heard head coach Dan Campbell does not want his team to sulk.
That's right.
He doesn't want any guys around the office that are going to have that kind of mentality. So what are your final takeaways?
And I agree with him. Again, you can't get any better sulking or worrying about what has happened. You got to look forward to what's coming up, and you have to take some positives out of that. It's hard to say, but it's like he said, there was a lot of positive things that he could take out of that game, and guys just have to keep improving. It's 15 more games left in this season, so you just keep improving week in and week out, and then hopefully things will start falling your way.
Yeah, we are only in week 2. A reminder to all of you. We just touched on it briefly. Baltimore, your first, you talked about Lamar, versatility, dynamic.
Yes.
What's the best thing, the most exciting thing you're looking forward to seeing this Lions team improve on?
I want to see there in Baltimore, even though they've had a lot of injuries, they're a hungry team, and they have to be a confident team after beating the Kansas City team that they hadn't had a lot of success against. So it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe they'll be on the emotional high, and we could catch them while they're on that emotional high. That would be nice.
It's either an emotional high or a hornet's nest.
Yeah.
Like, just take your pick, whichever one you want. All right.
You're right.
Awesome insight from the one and only Lomas Brown. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lions post-game show. We touched on it. Week 3, Baltimore Ravens. They are coming up there on the clock. John Harbaugh's team, Lamar Jackson, they are coming to Detroit as the Lions look for a bounce-back win and to hopefully not get into that 0-3 spot.
Yes.
All right, we're taking off from Green Bay. We'll see you guys back in Detroit. Thanks so much for tuning in.